this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the Mayberry stitch. Really lovely, delicate little bobble stitch, giving you a lovely texture on one side and a pretty but slightly less textured reverse side to your fabric. Not too many holes in it, but certainly enough that I probably wouldn't use this for a baby blanket unless I used a much smaller crochet hook with it. Just a really pretty stitch. So let's have a look at the tutorial. For this tutorial I'm using Katona from Shapiers. It's a DK yarn, and with that I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. You can use any weight yarn you like with the corresponding size hook. I have scissors to cut off my end, needle to sew in my ends, and a stitch marker just in case I need one. So the Mayberry stitch is worked in rows, so we're going to make a foundation row. So I'm going to start off with a slip knot. You can do this in whichever way you prefer. And our foundation chain needs to be made in multiples of 2. So we yarn over and pull through the loop on our hook. That's 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go up to 20 for my sample piece, but you can make yours as wide as you'd like your project to be in multiples of 2. So pause the video now. So I have my multiples of 2 going up to 20 for the width of my project. I'm now going to start row 1. And row 1 begins in the second chain from the hook, so we never count the 1 on the hook. So 1, 2, and I'm going in there with a double crochet. In US that would be single crochet. So I insert, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through both of those loops. Going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, so insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to put 1 double crochet, single crochet in US, into each stitch all the way back down the row. So pause the video now whilst you make your row of double crochets, and I shall see you at the end of the row. So I'm just coming up to the end of row 1, my final double crochet in that final chain. And there we have row 1 complete. For row 2 then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. The chain 1 does not count, therefore we can work into that very first stitch there, and we're going in there with a half treble. That's half double in US. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. So have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. We're then going to skip a stitch, and we're going to put 2 half trebles into the next stitch. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and repeat into the same stitch. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Then going to skip a stitch, and we're going to put 2 half trebles into the next stitch. Pull through 3, yarn over, insert, pull through a loop, and pull through all 3. Skip a stitch, and 2 more half trebles, and we're going to continue that way all the way to just before the end of the row. So you're going to skip a stitch, 2 half trebles, skip a stitch, 2 half trebles till you get to just before the end, and I shall show you what to do at the end of the row. So pause the video now. So I come to my last 2 stitches, so I'm going to skip a stitch and do my last 2 half trebles in that very last stitch. That's 1 and that's 2. So for row 3 we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. Again, the chain 1 does not count, so we're going to put a double crochet, that's single in US, into that very first stitch. and into the next stitch, so a single or a double crochet into that next stitch. We're then going to work a bobble stitch into the next stitch. So to do the bobble stitch for this pattern, we're going to insert into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. You should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Going to double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to do a bobble stitch in the next. So let me show you again. So you insert, yarn over, pull through a loop. You've got 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert into the same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Double crochet into the next stitch, and then a bobble stitch, and we continue that way all the way across until you get to your last couple of stitches. So it's a double crochet and then a bobble stitch into the next stitch. So pause the video now whilst you work your bobble stitch row, and I shall see you in a moment. So I've got 3 stitches left. I've just done my double crochet. Going to do a bobble stitch into the next stitch, and then in the last 2 stitches I'm just going to put a double crochet, that's UK, single crochet in US, into each of the stitches. So a double crochet and double crochet. And that's the end of row 3. For row 4 then, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Again, that chain 1 doesn't count, so we're going to work into that very first stitch, and we're going to do a half treble. So this is similar to row 2. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Going to skip a stitch, and we're going to put 2 half trebles into the next stitch. Skip a stitch, 2 half trebles into the next stitch, and we carry on that way all the way down this row 4 by skipping a stitch and then 2 half trebles into the next one. So pause the video now whilst you work your half treble row, and I shall see you in a moment. So coming up to my last 2 stitches, going to skip a stitch and then my 2 half trebles into the last stitch of that row. And that's row 4 complete. So for row 5, it's very similar to row 3, but we're going to be staggering our bobbles. So the start and the end of the row are going to be slightly different. So we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Again, that chain 1 does not count. At the start of row 3, we did 2 double crochets, one in the first 2 stitches, each of the first 2 stitches. But for this one, we're just going to put 1 double crochet in the first stitch, and then go straight into our bobble stitch. Double crochet in the next, and then a bobble stitch. Double crochet in the next, and then the bobble stitch. And if you look at your bobbles, then you'll see you've got a bobble here and a bobble here. They're slightly out of line with each other. So we're going to carry on down the row with a double crochet and a bobble stitch, and I shall join you just before the end of the row. So pause the video now. So I'm just coming up to my last bobble stitch, and I'm going to end the row with a double crochet in the last stitch. So now we're going to repeat rows 2 to 5 until we're happy with the length of our project. So chain 1, turn our work, the chain 1 does not count. So back to row 2, we put a half treble or half double into that very first stitch. We skip a stitch and then we put 2 half trebles into the next stitch, skip a stitch, 2 half trebles, and we repeat until we have finished our project. So I'm just going to work up a few more rows for you to see how it looks, and I shall see you in a moment. So here are a few more rows worked up for you. You get a lovely texture on what would be the right side. Actually the reverse is just as pretty, just slightly less texture on it, so it depends what sort of effect you're going for. Really pretty, easy stitch to do. Just got to keep your wits about you, making sure you don't yarn over when you start doing your bobbles. But just a really lovely, pretty stitch. So I really hope you've enjoyed this Mayberry stitch. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. It helps YouTube to show it to other crocheters. And also, if you haven't done so already and you'd like to subscribe, it is free and you can unsubscribe at any time you like if you find the channel's not for you. I like to make lots of stitch videos and crochet technique videos to help you on your crochet journey, so hopefully there's something in the many hundreds of videos that are already on this channel, and I release new videos every Friday. If you've enjoyed seeing my stitch marker today, this is the little lamb face. It's available on my website and also on my Instagram. I'll pop a link in the description below, and there'll also be a link here to my website for you to go directly to have a look at that. Hundreds of stitch markers and other haberdashery items to help you on your crochet journey, so please do go and have a look there or on my Etsy shop. It really does help to support the channel and help me to keep this going. I shall pop 2 more videos on the side of the screen over here to help you on your crochet journey, and I shall see you over there. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and happy hooking!